Good. Good. Last but certainly not least, we get to go the other direction. You are welcome. Example 6. Put 5 in there. This is example 6C. And I have the absolute value of 4 minus 3x is less than or equal to 2. Now the same thing is going down on this one as the one up above it. The only difference is my symbol is switched. So because this one went to the outsides because my absolute value is greater than that, what do you think is going to happen to this particular problem? Yeah, shade to the inside because my absolute value is less than. Good. Okay. Let's chug it out and see how this pans out. Let me make it bigger so we can see better. 4 minus 3x is less than or equal to 2. 4 minus 3x is greater than or equal to the negative 2. Subtract 4. We should be getting used to this by now. Divide by the negative 3. Now we know we get to flip the sign. Over here, I'm going to put a line there because I got these kind of close. Subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 3x is greater than or equal to negative 6. Divide both sides by your negative 3. X is less than 2. Put it on a number line. I've got 2/3 here. Zeros over here somewhere. And then just as a placeholder, that's all the zeros for. And then I've got a 2 over here. So if I'm saying that x is greater than 2/3, I'm shading to the right from 2/3. X is less than 2, I'm shading to the left. Is that what we thought would happen? Yeah, because we're amazing. So, same thing's happening here. I've got my brackets because it's an or equal to scenario. And I'm going from 2/3 to 2. And everything between 2/3 and 2 are going to make this statement true. I'm going to squeeze this in. So you can now see, you've got your equal sign up here, 2/3 and 2. 2/3 and 2, 2/3 and 2. The biggest question is what's going to make my statement true? This is where it equals 2, so then those are both equivalent. So I have two actual solutions. Here, because it's an inequality, I have to express that in interval notation. Again, with the inequality, express that in interval notation. All right? So we have equations and inequalities that we're looking at. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Now, last but not least, I can't let you go without a special case scenario, right? That would be no fun. So, you get it right now. Check out what's happening here. Example 7a. I want to solve the absolute value of x minus 2 equals negative 1. Excuse me. Is that even possible? No, it's not possible. What's happening here? Yeah, absolute value always, always, always has to be positive, right? So because absolute value has to be positive, is there any possible way? Is there any value of x that's going to equal a negative number on the outside? No. So here's the thing. When it comes to absolute value, as soon as you see this negative number over here, automatic no solution. There is no work to show. Absolute value can never, ever, ever equal a negative number. The definition of the absolute value is the distance from 0. There's no possible way to ever have a negative distance. So that's going to tell you, no, it's not going to happen. Cool. Check this out. What if I have, so you know we can't just stop there, I have the absolute value of x minus 2 is, oh dang, I said it but wrote the wrong thing, is less than a negative 1. And what did we say absolute value represented again? Positive. That's always going to be a positive number. Is there ever any possible way that a positive number is going to be less than a negative number? No. No possible way ever. So, because I know that there's never going to be any possible way. Now, this particular problem has a less than. Notice this is also the same situation for less than or equal to. All right. So this one happens to be a less than, but the less than or equal to is synonymous. All right. So because there's no ever possible way for a positive number to be less than that negative number. Yep, no solution. We're back at it again. Watch for that negative sign. No work to show. You don't have to split that up. You don't have any work to show. That's just automatically no solution. Let's try the third case scenario. Is greater than -1. So what was that rationale again? This was positive. Will a positive number, this is a number, will a positive number be greater than a negative number? Yeah, every single time, baby. So don't get lulled into the false sense that anytime you see a negative, it's automatically no solution. Because if the negative number is smaller or, same thing because the word or happens there. Same solution, same situation. This one is going to be from negative infinity to positive infinity. Because positive numbers are always, always, always greater than negative numbers. All right. So there's our special case scenarios. Pay attention. If you have a problem with absolute value in it and you have that negative, make sure you're paying attention to what's going down with that. Because that will make a difference. One thing that we did not say that I do want to say really quick, because you've got some problems like this in your homework, is the first thing whenever you go to solve an absolute value problem, such as like number 60 or even 61's even better, is 3 absolute value, 4 minus 3x absolute value minus 4 equals 8. Before you can start splitting any of this up, you have to isolate the absolute value first. Then split into positive and negative. Oops, that's super messed up. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. Have to isolate that absolute value first. Once you take care of that, then you split it into the positive and negative. So let's do it right now. First thing I want to do when you solve, you always get rid of that number first. So I have 3 absolute value of 4 minus 3x is equal to 12. Divide both sides by 3. And the absolute value of 4 minus 3x is now equal to 4. Now we split it up. 4 minus 3x equals 4. And 4 minus 3x equals a negative 4. It's an equal sign, so I don't have to worry about flipping anything because it's just an equal sign. Then you solve. Subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 3x is equal to 0. Divide both sides by negative 3 and x equals 0. 0 is a legit answer. Don't get wigged out by that. 0 is a fine and good answer. Now, subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 3x is equal to a negative 8. Divide both sides by a negative 3, and x is equal to 8/3. Your two solutions, and you can write them in the squiggly brackets, is 0, 8/3. On your paper, I don't care if you just keep it as this x equals and just have two of them. That's legit. If it makes you feel better to write them in the solution set, that's fine too. It's up to you, because I don't care. My math lab's already going to have a solution set for you, so you'll write your answers in there, separated by a comma. Overall, you're good to go. All right? Okay. There it is. We'll talk more about this on Friday if you have questions.